Dallas, Texas.
The views and opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of this station, owners, management, and sponsors.
If you find any content disagreeable, you may exercise your right to change the channel. And now, on with the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, we are live. It is Saturday, the 14th of March. It's been a while since we've been on. We've been lazy. I've been lazy.
You've been working.
I've been lazy.
DJ has a job.
I've been lazy. So, we got a lot going on in the world today. I have a port on this brand new thing that I bought that isn't working. I got to figure out why.
Brand new, like this week?
No, I bought this when I got here.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like brand fucking new. So it's less than a year old. I think it might be on warranty. So it's going to work for getting another one. But anyway, a minor thing. Let's see. What do we want to talk about first here? We got a couple things. Go ahead.
Before we talk about the main topic, let's update everybody on what we've been doing.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Well, I am a proud owner of a Kia Telerex.
Telluride.
And it's a charcoal gray. It's fabulous. It's the prestige package. It's top of the line. I love the car. We were needing a new family car, so we got a new family car. And I'm excited. It's awesome. It's got more bells and whistles than I can even use.
It's a beautiful car.
It is. We could fit. It's got sunroof. We could fit more people in it. I'm
thinking there's enough room in the back for threesomes if we lay the seats down. If anybody wants to come put that to the test.
That's what PJ was wanting to do.
A threesome?
Yeah, he wanted to go some truck stop and get an unsuspecting trucker and
lounge lizard. Lot lizard.
Well, he's a nurse. I said you can't get chloroform.
I said I want to go to jail too.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my update.
You can Google how to make homemade chloroform.
I'm sure we could.
We shouldn't talk about this because when someone turns up missing, they're coming to us.
All right, so I am Junior. I am the man of the show. I'd like to think so. And of course, my wonderful husband, PJ, who is the technical advisor, the special effects guy, the camera guy, the whatever guy we wanted to be. And my co-host, who's fabulous in his own right, even though I don't think he's that hot. Yeah, he's hot. Keith, go ahead and tell us about your week.
My week?
Yes.
It was short work week. Had Thursday and Friday off for TBRU for this weekend, which Thursday night was pretty cool. Friday morning, they canceled the rest of the event because of the coronavirus and gatherings of 500 or more.
Yeah, which we'll be talking about shortly.
Against the law now, so they got canceled. So now I just had a 4-day weekend, and I'm enjoying it. Today felt like it should have been Sunday, and it's only Saturday, so I still got another day's rest, which is nice. Not a whole lot going on lately. Just been working and chilling, and it's that time of year where there's not a lot going on. Football's over. Swimming season hasn't started yet. I'm ready to open the pool. I'm ready for some warm weather.
Well, speaking of football being over, all sporting events have been canceled.
Yeah, the rest of the leagues, basketball and hockey have been suspended, and then the opening of baseball season has been pushed back. The XFL has just canceled the rest of their season until next year.
So each of our industries, I work in IT and I visit different offices around the town too.
But can you tell you just
where I've been, what I've been doing?
Yeah.
Losing my mind. Junior had very, very positive vibes for this year. And he kept telling me, I feel good about this. I feel good about this. Things are going to change this year. And after I had a month-long flu, I've been applying for jobs. And oddly enough, this was one that it was an off. It wasn't like through any agency or anything like this. And the guy calls me up, and I go out there, and I guess they were impressed the fact that I even wore a tie and a shirt. I guess other people hadn't been doing that. And on the table, he had an array of different items that an average tech, even the average geek would have known. An HDMI splitter, a sound card, so he says, "What are these?" I said, okay, HDMI card, sound card. That's a network cable card. He said, "Oh, you know what you're talking about." So I sat down. And he said, people were coming in to interviews in sweats, t-shirts, and I guess they figured their high scores on whatever game they're playing counts them as IT. So I don't know. I was really nervous because I've had a bunch of interviews that I walked away from thinking I had the job, but he and I really hit it off. And I told Junior, I really want this, and he had like one more interview later in the day around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I thought, well, we were driving back, and I was like, I haven't heard anything. And then as I was sitting there, it came through. Mm-hmm. This long, apparently he tried calling, but it converted the voice to text. And I was reading it, and I was just so excited. We're excited to have you on board, and blah, blah, blah. So that was real good. So I'm working for a company that goes to different doctors' offices, make sure there's compliant, because with Windows 7 expiring, they're no longer providing service for it. In order for you to have a doctor's office being compliant, it has to be supported by the manufacturer with updates and security patches and so forth. And so when they stop doing that, you have to upgrade. But he also provides support to smaller offices, not big chains. But once they get to 5 or 6 offices, then he says, well, you need to find somebody else because it's more than we can really do for you. But he's got a lot of nice little offices all around. I've been all over Texas, but with GPS, I still have no idea where the hell I am. So I know I passed that, and I'm like, and I've actually missed my exit to work because I didn't have GPS on. Oh, yeah. So I've gone, I went too far, and turn around, come back. So that's where I've been, and on and off, I've been sick, not sick with this. Right. First, I'm from Florida, and I'm sure there are things here that I didn't have allergies there, but there could be things here that I am allergic to. The things are different. Yeah. And so the other night we ate, and I had food poisoning and got real sick and all stuff. But anyway, so where we are now, I'm taking the classes at the Improv, the Dallas Comedy House. We've been not doing this as loyally as I would like to have, but we've been pooped. I mean, I don't know how. I always knew that when you came after work, Keith, that there were times you were just drained. And I know what it's like. But when I was not working, I was here. I might clean, I might vacuum, I might do laundry, but for the most part, I was sitting here growing crazy. And so, I'd be already, and you guys, he'd be tired because he's worked all day, and you'd be tired and you'd worked all day. And if we waited for Steven, oftentimes we had to wait till later, which is fine. So it was like 6, 7 o'clock before we could do the show. And by then, the people that have worked are wiped, And so now, the first week, that's true. But the first week, I was really exhausted. The first week it took it out of me because this is not sitting in an office. This is not sitting on the phone. This is not, you're going out to offices, climbing ladders, running cables, and so my fat ass on a ladder is a funny sight. But anyway, that's where I've been.
So I just want to comment on your thing about the interviews and the shirt and the ties.
Yeah.
We get a lot of youngsters that come in that are applying for the theater, and they do come in shorts and sometimes tank tops and flip-flops, and they tried doing some group interviews when we were mass hiring when I was at Mesquite, and they actually asked one person to leave there. They were cussing during the interview. They just said like fucking this, and then just like they were talking to their friends on the street, and that's not the way I was brought up. You dressed nice for interviews, man. You went in with slacks and shirts and ties and all that good stuff. And nowadays, I guess it's just a different world now. This younger generation, they're just more relaxed.
Right. Yeah. So, one of the things that's getting ready to happen, we know that in this country we've had this virus thing is, I want to say it crept up on us, but I don't think no matter how we would have done it, it would have. The unknown is what's the problem. We don't know how many and where the hotspots are. Hopefully, in a short period of time, I'm hoping that fixes itself. But until it does, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
It's going to get worse. The number of confirmed cases will go up dramatically once they get some test kits. There's a lot of people that have it now and are actually in the hospital, but they don't have the kits to test them just to confirm what they have.
Right.
There is a really high recovery rate with this thing, but then the death rate is unusually high too. They say it's 10% higher death rate than the normal flu. So But, about 4 days ago, the confirmed cases was up to like 112,000 and with over 66,000 fully recovered.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a high recovery rate, which is promising. It's just, it spreads so easy. They say it's so much more contagious than some of the other diseases. And now China, I just read a report a little while ago, was saying that out of the people that have recovered, they're showing 30 to 40% less lung capacity. So
Really? After the fact?
after they're healed and recovered, that just walking fast, they can't breathe.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of scar tissue.
Yeah, so because it affects the lungs. It's where it mainly is in the lungs. It's a respiratory virus.
And there's no cure, no vaccine. They can only treat the symptoms: temperature,
The cough,
and everything they can treat it as per symptom. So that's really hard. Most people are being put on ventilators to help breathe because the amount of fluid that's flooding in their lungs.
and that's what's scary too. I was just watching CNN, and we don't have enough ventilators. The
No.
hospitals are already using everything they have on hand. So we not only don't have enough respirators, ventilators, test kits, not enough beds in the ICUs available to
Right.
handle a mass outbreak, which is it's going to happen. It's going to get worse
Yeah.
before it gets better.
Yeah. And PJ read something that was really interesting about
Which part?
socialism in America is alive, and
I
thanks
didn't
to
know that. You drew that equation.
to the Trump administration, they're allowing certain things now.
Well, first they've lightened the restrictions on food stamps. Before, if you were if you were under 50, you had to be applying for jobs and stuff like that. For right now, they've removed that restriction. I think they've probably removed the cap of how much you can get until this settles. They've mandated, I guess, unemployment. 14 days sick leave, and I don't know how in the end it's going to work, but they say they're going to reimburse even the small businesses that have less than 50 employees that do this, because if people need to stay home, they need to stay home.
Right.
So there's a lot. The challenge is, the biggest challenge, and we all know this, is the unknown. We do not know what we have.
No.
And so one of the things I was thinking of the other day was, people are home. They can't go anywhere.
Right.
And so and there are some people that are scared, that are nervous, or just nothing else to do. Right. So I don't know how much of this we can do. I guess it might be easier for me because it looks like let me just give you an idea. I want to give you an idea of what kind of response I get. I have an email account that I get rewards from like different things, like Denny's.
You're talking all the restaurants.
Yeah.
I've been getting those too, right?
Arby's, for example. The health and safety of our employees and guests is our top priority. Blah blah blah. Thank you for So I got that one. And then Long John Silver's. Long John Silver's, our North Star guidelines. Our North Star guides us in bringing a unique seafood experience. Blah blah blah. What we are doing, continuing a rigorous audit of food safety and blah blah blah. I'm getting emails from everybody. What I haven't gotten one is from AMC, but I did get one from the CEO of Cinemark. I'm sorry, it just had to be said. I'm sorry. But dear valued guest, didn't use my name. They know my name, right? Given global concerns regarding coronavirus, I wanted to personally reach out and share the extra precautions Cinemark is taking, blah, blah. And that's when I started getting these, that's when I realized this is fucking serious.
Right.
I think before my time, I think the last thing that was major was it influenza or was it smallpox?
Swine.
Well, Ebola or AIDS. Because AIDS was a little harder hit, but as far as something like this that wasn't restricted to one community, this affects everybody.
Right.
Largely, AIDS for a long time was sort of contained until it busted out of the
swine flu in 2009 to 2010 was also eventually called a pandemic, and I think it was over 12,000 people died over that 1 year period. They say, I was just reading about that today too, and it says the coronavirus is way more contagious than that.
Right.
And they were able within 6 months to develop a vaccine. So we're still in the early stage of this, that maybe we'll have a vaccine within the next few months. because they can't just come up with one and start giving it to people. They have to test it to make sure there's no side
And
effects.
it's not just one test. They got to repeat it because they say that people, and I might need to defer to you on this. What is asymptomatic?
Asymptomatic.
Yeah, thank you. What does that mean?
Your symptoms are current and they're matching something that's related to but not compared to.
So there are people that might be out there that might not yet be contagious, but could become contagious. So you might test now, but you got to keep testing because you're going to go about your life, right? You're going to go out, you're going to go do you got to go shopping, you got to get that 1,000 rolls of toilet paper.
The panic buying.
That makes no sense to me.
Stocking up on 2 weeks supply of something is one thing because Jesse just posted or shared that they're looking at a 14-day mandatory quarantine in LA.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So you want to make sure you have enough food and stuff to last at least those 14 days.
But you guys got to realize 14 days doesn't mean it's over.
Right.
No.
You could go 2 days and then have symptoms and have to go 14 days more.
You're right.
So this could be a long. And let's say, for example, what we really need to respect are the first responders and the medical staff that have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis because you got all the places that are handling the people that are in quarantine and the people that are known sick. Every day they're taking a chance. Every day they're in there, and the minute that happens, so let's say they get healthy again, they go back in. That opportunity to become infected again is it's not like you become immune to it, right? We don't know that. We don't know that for sure, but we have to assume that you can be reinfected. So again, we're guessing a lot. Hey, Jesse, I see that you're in LA. Do me a favor. We want to talk to different people. We want to find out what different areas are doing. Give us a call when you get a minute. 469-844-2207. 469-844-2207. And those of you that are listening, we want to talk to you because we don't want to spread any misinformation. We'll make some jokes and we'll do funny shit, but there are people out there that how is LA handling it? Remember this? We talked about all sorts of things that are going to change, right? They're changing movie release schedules because the studios don't want to lose money because no one's going to go to a packed theater.
No.
And so a lot of things will be moving until November and October and that kind of a thing. What's going to happen, though, if you remember the writer's strike a couple of years ago, well, probably 10 years ago, when that happened, production stopped and we were in rerun hell, right?
Right.
So, last night we were watching the news and several of the studios had said that they had stopped production in Toronto and all. So it makes sense. You can't risk, and what really puts a face on it is when Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, and it's good that they're putting a face on it. You know what I mean? I'm glad that they're out there. I'm glad they're saying something about it because this is going to affect everything. Okay, so people talk about how they go into the store and the shelf is empty of toilet paper. Why is this a problem? Because there's going to be a point where those truckers who ride those trucks to bring this stuff to you, they may have a warehouse full of stuff, but there's going to be no way to get it there.
Right.
Or it's going to be few and far between when they get it there.
Right.
So we have to be responsible. We really do. Hey, Diane, my sister's watching, my older sister. So we want to talk to different people and see how they're doing different things, what your job is, how is it affecting your job. Okay, today I got an email from my boss. It wasn't even an email. It was a all points message. He says, I will be calling each of you to discuss the upcoming week and to answer any questions anyone has. Please be watching for my call. Basically, like a holiday week on call, mostly remote work from home, etc. I will talk to you later. Well, this is new to me, so I'm going to have to understand it. Then he posts a chart about using Italy as a sample. And I guess I should post this. I could do that. But it shows 11 days ago, when we had the last read on Saturday, 2/29, Italy was at 1,128 verified cases, and we were at 1,135. We got a call. Hold on one second. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, this is Jesse.
Hey, Jesse. Give me 1 second to finish this thought, and then we'll talk to you for a second, okay?
No problem. Go ahead.
So, as of today, 3/11, as of Wednesday, the 11th of March, Italy was at 12,462 confirmed. That means these are confirmed cases because they still got to do testing. We have not been able to do that many testing because we simply haven't had the tests. But if we're using that as a gauge, we're probably further along than that because we have not been battling it yet. Right. And so this is a stark reminder of where we're going to be. And I don't want to scare anybody. This, I don't think this is an instant death sentence. My understanding, based on what Junior is telling me, is they treat the symptoms. So if you got a cough, they treat the cough. If you got a fever, they treat the fever. It is possible, if this is treated right. So, Jesse, I'm going to switch topics here. So you're in L.A., right? How long have you been in L.A.?
Okay.
A year.
20 years.
20 years. Okay. And
20 years, yeah.
So what part of L.A. do you live in? L.A.'s big.
I live South Los Angeles, so the South Bay area.
Okay.
South Side.
South Side. Represent. So at what point... Okay, so at what point... Have you seen definitive action, and at what point did that start happening?
So it started happening this Friday. I was at my office with my boss, and he tells me, hey, there's a possible 2-week quarantine starting Monday. So if you want to leave early today, we'll close up right now, and you get to do whatever you need to do.
Well, that's a wonderful idea, but, 2 weeks doesn't mean it's going to go away.
Well, they know that. I think they know that.
Right.
Yeah. 2 weeks is just the start.
Right now, what they're trying to do is control the panic because people are panicking out here. I went to the grocery store, and people are just buying everything: water, toilet paper, all the non-disposable food, all the canned goods, and people are just freaking out. And that's the problem that people need to understand is don't freak out.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right.
You got the only time you freak out is when there's no more condoms.
Shit.
My friend Roy posted that the other day. He said, "Oh yeah, we're going to be quarantining at home for a few weeks. How many babies do you think are going to be born in 9 to 10 months?"
I think quite a few.
All right.
They need to call the quarantiners.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. We're listening, Jesse.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are you there? I think we lost him. Oh, okay, there you are. So let me ask you. I'm originally from Florida, so I watch things like Disney World, Universal, SeaWorld as signs of real social responsibility. Meaning, when they do something, usually it's first it's a big deal. They don't just close for any reason. In Orlando, if there's a hurricane, it has to be pretty much on us before they'll close, and then they close, and then they open. But this, as of I think Sunday, they've closed all their parks, and so but their employees still need to go in. They're going to help clean and stuff like that, and they're going to pay the people that aren't whatever. What kinds of things have you seen out in L.A. that they're doing to try to promote people to stay home?
Well, I know for a fact Disneyland is closing today.
Okay.
And I have a few friends who are cast members at Disneyland Park, and they're being told to go home, stay home, and they're going to get paid. The only members that are not going to get that leave pay are the ones that work in like downtown Disney, which is like where they have their smaller shops.
Okay. So
and as far as Universal Studios, they've already announced that they're also closing just to avoid any spreads or any contact.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast this stuff spreads, and one person can give it to 5, and then they can go give it to 5, and then, and it's spreading really fast.
Yeah, and all it is just simple hygiene nowadays. We have to be more hygienic, more so than ever. We have to wash our hands decently, and the problem is people tend to rely more on like hand sanitizers, and that's not the the best way to clean off your hands. The best way to do it is just to wash your hands under warm water and decently scrub your hands with soap.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. These are common sense things that even the average person still doesn't do. They leave the bathroom, they don't wash their hands, and a lot of places are pretty good about having sanitizer at certain places and things like that. So a lot of this is common sense stuff, but the bottom line is the end result is we're going to see something big because we simply, the unknown is what's out there. Jesse, I want to thank you for giving us a call, and maybe in a couple of days we'll touch base with you, see how things are going. So are you now technically on a 14-day quarantine, or are you just home because of work?
I'm home because my boss would just don't come into work just to avoid this.
Are they compensating you, or are they not?
Not yet. I'm still waiting on. I'm going to wait till Monday to find out what the full effect is.
Okay, well, based on what I've read, that House bill that they were putting through is just waiting Trump's signature.
Well, Trump tweeted his support of the House bill, and the House voted on it, and it passed 360-something to 40. Of course, all 40 that opposed were
still waiting for Senate approval, but I don't. It won't wait. It won't.
It's got to go to Senate, but again, the Republicans are what are opposing it, and the Senate is run by the 40 against votes were all 40 Republicans.
Yeah. Well, let's hope and pray, because in that is
Trump endorsed it, though. He supported the bill.
Relief for
package. He did. He supported it.
Well, they've been working with that munition guy. I can't pronounce his name. The guy from Treasury.
Yeah, we know who you're talking about.
And he's working with. He's got whatever Trump wants is what these are the benchmarks that he'll say yes to. Right. And he has come out and said that yes, we've come to an agreement on this. Doesn't mean anything till it happens, but hopefully, what I'm trying to get to the point is, in that is they're kind of compensate even small businesses for time off. I don't know how that's going to work, how much red tape is going to be involved with that, but we'll see. Hopefully, you won't be out and down too long.
Because since I work off of only commission, that's a big one. I'm not sure if I'll even get any of that.
What do you do for a living, if you mind us asking?
I do taxes.
I need my tax return done.
I can help you with that.
I need my tax return done. I need them done.
All right, Jesse, I want to thank you for calling, and we might touch base with you in a couple of days, and please be safe. And if you want, you can always reach out to us through the page to let us know if something's changed, and we'll definitely reach out to you.
Absolutely, will do.
All right, thank you. You have a good
Bye, sexy man.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty.
All right, stop yawning, Junior. You've done nothing.
So,
you picked up a license tag. That's it.
Just texted the theater to see how attendance was and what kind of restrictions we put in place. So they said they're capping the auditoriums off at 50%. And then one of the guys said 250. So none of our auditoriums, I think our biggest ones hold like 290. So even if they were full, it wouldn't be 500, but I think they're capping all the auditoriums at 50%. So.
Well, I know that, what was it? It was... Broadway shut down because they can't have audiences, and all the late night shows are not doing audiences, right. And that's definitely going to affect the quality.
Daytime talk show.
Yeah.
You know why the NBA suspended theirs, right? Because LeBron said he's not playing in front of an empty stadium. So if LeBron King James says no,
see,
no.
I'm not. I is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I was just talking about things, but no. I don't know. I could see them not wanting to play in front of empty arenas, but it's a good thing that they're not playing. It's a good thing.
I'm sorry. I'm blocking some a spam call. Let's see where we are here. I got a headache. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got 15,000 people in an arena. Some come from out of town. Some fly in for games, to support away teams, and they catch something and they fly away. And then there's people at the airport and they fly to wherever they're going and they take it. And it's just so easy to spread and gets around so fast.
Well, and that's the thing. You got people, we've been given so much. Okay, we got people coming from that country, other countries, right? And Americans coming back from overseas saying for the longest time they weren't even temperature taken at the airport. I mean, where stark difference was China was kidnapping people off the street to put them in quarantine. I don't think that would fly here. No. Trump might try that, but under the guise of, you get immigrants off the street under the guise of you look sick. Come
here, Taco.
But see, here's the other. Now think about that. Let's take that look at that from the other side of this. You've got a lot of illegal immigrants here that can't just simply go to a hospital. And now this might force them, it's kind of forces them out into the light, because if they get sick, they've got to seek help. Or if they don't, it could become, that's the leak that allows it to continue. And so these poor people now have to decide: do I live, and find out what's going on, or do I just suffer in silence?
Go back to.
So the ramifications of this is going to be crazy.
And you can't suffer in silence because the shit will kill you.
Yeah.
Right.
He had a thing on the news. His sister got the virus on a Saturday. She was dead by Thursday.
Yeah. No, that's Italy. In Italy.
Uh-huh.
Well, and the thing is, he was kept calling. Italy's hit so hard. He said he kept calling the authorities, but they just wouldn't. They're stretched too thin. They're stretched too thin. Not that. Granted, if he were dying on, I'd be beside myself. But if you look back in time, remember when the AIDS crisis hit, and AIDS was so new and it was so misunderstood. There would be times where ambulances would be called and they would turn right around and leave because they didn't understand what was going on, and people would die there. And parents would pick up their kids who were sick and dying, and drive them to the ER. And there were times where ER people wouldn't touch them because the ignorance and what we didn't know. Right. And so, granted, we're I think miles ahead of that, and I don't know that we would be any better off. I should say yes, we would. Had we been honest with the public, had we been straightforward with the public with what our limitations are, but we're fixing it, this is what we can do. We have a president that for the longest time, nope, not happening, nope. Had his ears plugged. Nope, can't hear you.
I think it's simply going to go away. Yeah. I think it'll just go away by April.
He didn't want his numbers to go up. He wanted to be the lowest nation in the world to have low numbers of the virus.
It's just going to, don't worry, it's going to go away.
Right.
And it won't just go away. It's gonna. I mean, there's gonna be an end to it. But,
well, yeah.
I guess it's over 10, 11 years now, and there's still cases of swine flu every now and then. So it probably won't ever be completely gone, but there'll be a vaccine for it.
Well, you look at what Trump was trying to avoid was any negativity with regards to his campaign. Yeah. Now, where all the jobs he quoted that he made, which in my opinion, how many construction jobs really help the average individual? Not many. So there weren't really many jobs, and there are still places that he made campaign promises to. There was a place in Ohio that had a car plant that got closed down because they stopped making that type of vehicle, and he had made promises. And there's like a video of him doing, and all those people now, the people that were in the plant can have a job, but they've got to travel to new cities. So he's told them when he campaigned, don't sell your house. I'll fix this for you. So they didn't move. They would just commute. Or, so like dad would be 100, 200, 300, wherever the other plant is. So the mom's still here, or the dad who is, whoever has a job. And, you got a union job. You don't give it away. And so now they're all suffering. And you just don't know what to believe from this guy.
No. No, it's like I was saying earlier when they were saying that we've already first they said that everybody who wants a test can get a test, but they couldn't because there's no test. And then Mike Pence said a few days later, well, we've already shipped 1 million, and there'll be 4 million more by Friday, which would have been yesterday. So we're looking at 5 million test kits by Friday. But now they're saying, by early next week we'll have 500,000.
Someone said some tests were defective.
Went to oh, really? I didn't hear.
I don't know if the batch that they're talking about, and I don't think anybody actually saw this 1 million tests. Okay.
Oh, they don't exist because now he's saying, by next week we'll have 500,000. So the 5 million are just never existed,
right.
And the 500,000 will be ready by next week. And our government turned down tests from
Russia?
No.
I don't know. Who's he sleeping with this week? I don't know.
The health organization, World Health Organization.
Offered us test kits.
And we turned them down. And we don't have
because we don't need help from anybody. We're the U.S., which is so good.
Right.
And I don't want to get into the bash thing. I want to focus on okay, schools are closing, and there are parents with kids that absolutely depend on that lunch. And sometimes, many cases, the schools serve breakfast.
I saw where some schools were still offering to feed the kids.
Yeah, that's good, but not every place can do that.
Right.
One of my friends, Brian Richardson, and he and his husband live up in Wisconsin. They were going to come to the wedding, which we are going to wait until the 14th of April to determine. We're going to give it a month away before, we want to get closer, and we're probably going to cancel it, but we want to err on, I'd hate to cancel everything, find out that we found a gear, not that that's going to happen, but there's still hope. But he's up there, and he put a thing out, if anybody needs I mean, I've got peanut butter and jelly. I've got cereal. I've got milk. I'll buy. He says, I'll get some, bologna and cheese. I will, if you need it, no questions asked, just ask.
Yeah, another friend of mine posted that. I saw, I think yesterday, he posted that if any of your kids are going to be missing meals while they're out of school, please contact me. No names, no nothing. I'll take care of you. Just
right, and that's admirable. That's very admirable. And if everybody this is where as a society, we got to a point where we don't want to know our neighbors, and then you have the times like in Florida where there's hurricanes or heat waves, and you got to worry about your neighbor. Are they alive? Are they well? Check on them, and people won't do it. What is that?
I saw him.
Okay, what are we looking at?
That's Bruce. It's a friend of ours, Bruce.
Is he naked?
No. Bruce is really cool.
He was in town for TBRU. Yeah. He was at the hotel yesterday, but I didn't get to talk to him because he was standing in the crowd.
I wish I was.
He was with Madero and them at the door yesterday, I think, or somewhere. But yeah, it's admirable what they're doing, and you're right. We don't know our neighbors anymore.
And the thing is, you got to be safe for that because you just don't know anymore who's your neighbor.
That's true.
But. So the question would be if I guess a really dumb thing is if you heard someone screaming for help, would you go? Or do you stay in?
That's a good question.
They'll be okay. And I'd like to think that I would say yes, but then you never know what you're getting your ass into.
Right. Yeah, I've seen plenty of cases where a boyfriend or a husband was beating up their girlfriend or wife. And then somebody jump in to help, and then the wife turn on the guy that's helping. That comes to help her. They'll start helping their husband. Yeah. You got to be careful what you jump into, for sure.
So, it's like I don't know if this has anything to do with it. Traffic. Go ahead.
So Bruce used to live here in Dallas, and he moved to Washington.
To Seattle, right?
Seattle, yes. And he got a job with Microsoft, the most phenomenal job he's been wanting. So he got the job and moved to Seattle, where he's been happy ever since. As we all know, Seattle's in Washington. And I'm trying to get Bruce to give us a call so he could tell us the type of atmosphere in Washington. So,
and it wasn't at the epicenter as far as the nursing home stuff.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's over 50 deaths now, confirmed deaths in America, and I know at one point there was 30 in Washington, 30 or 31. So I don't know if that's where they're still all at.
Yeah, it's a sad day, man. But so here's the thing. What do you do? So now is the time to break out the board games. You know what I mean? You stay home if you can. You make make the best of whatever choices are presented to you, and you do the best you can. We know the government's going to mess it up no matter what we do. They even with the best of intentions, they're going to fuck it up.
Right.
They can't not do it. I think there was a period, wasn't it like last week, there was a couple of cops that thought they had been exposed. So like they'd made an arrest or something like that, and like 14 cops had been sent home.
Right.
But apparently that didn't last long. Oh, come on back.
Right.
So, let's think about this. What's coming up? Let's say this lasts into March or May. In Florida, hurricane season starts. We have the fires that usually happen in California and so forth. And we have the flooding as snow melts in the Midwest, you know what I mean, in Indiana and all those places. That means emergency response. That means people have got to come out. That means we need shelters. So now we're putting people back in positions where how do you manage that, and are we prepared for that? And I don't think so.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I my hat's off to the first responders because Junior is a nurse and works in an office, and every day I'm thinking all it takes is one person to be, to say I was affected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have protocols. We have protocols in place, so we just follow the protocols and.
The thing about working in the office, though, it's kind of a controlled environment. You know who comes and goes, and if somebody's exposed, you're able to contact and get a hold of everybody who's been in the office since somebody came in that was affected.
That would be something in consideration.
Right. I mean, at least there's some way to track the people that's been there, and you can get in touch with them.
Yeah, but the thing
I worry about that in the theater is, with the amount of people we come through.
The thing is, if they come in the office, and we did a pre-infectious check over the phone, and they still come to the office and they still answer yes to one of the questions, even though they said no, they immediately go into isolation until we can find out what we can do and have them checked out.
Right.
So, and then of course the clinic is a public clinic. I mean, open to people come in. We would go ahead and wipe everything down immediately. Start wiping stuff down. So. And we have protocols in place. We need to follow them. All the employees wash their hands. Okay.
Right. We
hand
have
sanitizer, foam in, foam out, hand sanitizer. I mean, be vigilant and do the precautions.
So if you want to talk about this, you have some comment, or you want to be a part of the show, give us a call. 469-844-2207. 469-844-2207. We want to hear from people from different parts of the country. How's it affecting your job? How's it affecting friends and family that you know of? What kind of resources are being made available to you? What kind of information are you getting? Do you feel like you're being supported? Do you feel you're not being supported? This is important. We want to have a conversation. We want to see what the temperature is out there for people, because I think it's all we got is each other at this point. And so we're here. Richard's watching. And
Richard, Carlos, and David are now watching. Hello, everybody.
So, and if you would, those of you that are watching, if you would please share this and invite friends to watch it. Share this on groups and pages that you're part of, because we would like to start getting a conversation going, a dialogue going about this. Okay, if we use some sort of algorithm of how many of the three of us do you think statistically would wind up being quarantined for 14 days based on what's going on today? Do you think all of us, or do you think one out of the three, or two out of the three?
All three.
You think so?
Well, yeah, because we hang out.
Oh, yeah, because we hang out with each other.
No, wait, hold on. You work from office to office at a dental office.
Yes.
So be prepared to be tested.
I hope so. I'd like to be.
Hold on.
Good.
Your temperature will be checked when you come into the office. Okay? And so that'll be that. That's the only test you're going to be getting. You work with the public, so you're going to be exposed to people coming in and out. You, at the place you work at, can't test people like that.
Nope.
The dentist office can't, because they're staffed with
medical personnel. At my office, I'm exposed to people who are ill, who have problems, and so there's a good chance that I'll be exposed, and eventually we will all be exposed at some point in our life to that. Yeah. So we may have an immunity to it, we may not. So hopefully we have immunity to it. Yeah. So either way, if we're exposed, we have to worry about the people we love. And you have people that have it or carriers that are not showing symptoms, and you have some that catch it, and within 3 days they have 104 and are on their deathbed. And
see, one of the things they kept talking about was underlying illnesses. But for the longest time, they wouldn't tell you what they meant by that. And last night, one of the new shows said something about it, and I think it was diabetes.
Upper respiratory infection.
And I can't remember, there was a couple others. But it was the first time they had posted something where there was some indication what they meant by, underlying. And it's like when you go to the hospital and they want to determine if you're likely to have a heart attack, what's your family history? Well, I have sleep apnea, I have diabetes, I'm overweight, water retention, I have blood pressure. Well, then they know what to monitor and pay attention to. And so it's hard to tell. So, then they, if this works the way they say it's going to work, if it falls into place the way the government says it will, I think the right things have been said. Now, I saw the news conference yesterday with Donald Trump did, where he brought all the heads of the major Walmart and Target and then CVS and the two major what do they call it? The testing companies, right. The lab companies, LabCorp and the other one, and they all committed. Several Walmart was said they're going to make spaces in some of their stores, parking lots to do drive-throughs.
Although that's admirable, but it's also crazy because you're going to have hundreds of cars lined up down the highway to get tested. Hundreds.
Right.
Nobody's prepared for that. And there may be people going from one place to another place thinking they may get two different results. So it's not going to be statistically possible to keep track of multiple tests for one person. So when they can figure that one out, that's good. That's fine.
How am I seeing him?
Right. Yeah, but still, that's a way to get more people tested at a more rapid way without hospitals being backed up. And there's other places that are doing it. I know South Korea is doing that, and I thought I saw something in Colorado where they were doing some drive-through testing.
That was not Colorado. That was in New York.
And it was like when we first started seeing like the first cruise ship being quarantined out in Japan, and then a second, and then a third, and it was like for a while the administration was blaming people for going on like you went on a cruise, you should have known you were going to get sick, and
it's not like all the ships are. Well, I guess some crew members go when
they
one
do.
Ship docks, they'll get on a different
right.
one. So yeah,
but and so I don't know how our quarantine system is. I know in other countries, I guess it's not as civil as it could be. I guess here, when you get to this many people, you're probably not going to have a large screen TV in your room. You probably might not even have a room. You might be in a
shared room,
or a dorm,
or in a tent.
Because they're saying one of the things that the California governor said that the emergency powers allowed them to do was, and he used the word commandeer buildings. He said we can commandeer hotels and so forth, and we are going to, we can take, and that makes, he's clearly thinking about that. Now, the other side of this is the homeless population. We got people out there that have no ability to make any sort of changes, and they're at Walmart with you. They're in the libraries when they're open. So and they're out front. Not that that's a bad thing. I know quite a few homeless people, and I have some good friends that are homeless. But that's a whole other demographic that unfortunately is the last thing thought of.
Right.
What? I'm looking at
what are you doing?
Looking at people's comments about the coronavirus and how it's a hoax.
Well, and
to all those people who think it's a really big hoax, go to the hot zone, walk into one of their ICU units, ICU care facilities, and stand there for a few minutes and see if it's a hoax then.
I'm sorry, I just don't see all these businesses and leagues and stuff suspending hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars worth of revenue because they think it's a hoax. I mean, if they just thought it was just another flu, they don't shut down shit for the flu like that.
Especially NASCAR. Those rednecks don't give up nothing. And when NASCAR said it was over, it's over.
Right. It's just a hoax. Oh, they're just trying to make the president. Oh, yeah, let's lose. And think about this. The big businesses in these leagues, a lot of the league owners are billionaires. And they benefit from Trump being president and his tax cuts. They've made millions of dollars off Trump being president.
Right.
So why would they sacrifice all this money to get Trump back and get him out of office? Just to say that this is just to make Trump look bad. Trump makes himself look bad just by lying. If he'd have just stepped up and said, hey, look, I made a few mistakes. We underestimated this. We're making corrections and we're going to get this under control. Then, that's a good thing. But he's like, but Obama, the way they handled the swine flu, the way they handled man, fuck that shit. Talk about what's going on now and just tell the truth. Just stop fucking lying and tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop fucking lying.
Don't blame another administration, especially when you're 3 years and 3 months into your administration.
Right. But,
dude, own it. Own that shit.
Yeah. So, and for all those out there that complain about socialism and hate socialism and don't want socialism, all these packages they're putting together to help everybody, during this time, the wages and all that. That's socialism, y'all. That's
well, yeah. Until it all gets better, and they say, "Well, now we're going to deduct this from your check. We're going to increase taxes to pay for all that crap we paid for before."
And that's capitalism.
And here's the thing. And here it is. Let's think about it. When Puerto Rico it's a territory. It's not a state, and Trump just doesn't like them, and so they got shit on big time. And again, a lot of the things aren't built there, right? A lot of things they're still like a third world country because of all the damage that was done from Maria.
And then the earthquake.
Imagine this. So let's see. Is this the end of the world? I mean, we're having earthquakes. Now we got a plague. We need now some locusts, and we're good to go.
Dude, don't say that shit.
We need a locust. Come on, just one locust. Just one. Didn't say I need a whole bunch of them, right? So, in Orlando, SAC Comedy Lab, which is a theater like Dallas Comedy House, they have a 200-seat theater. And so what they did is they've reduced capacity to half so that if people didn't want to, they could sit apart without having to be, you know what I mean? So they've reduced the capacity that they're selling. And I'm sure eventually that's going to change. They're probably just going to close. Dallas Comedy House was having a comedy festival this beginning at the end of the month that they've had to postpone. The government's telling people not to fly and all this, which makes sense. Definitely don't get on a cruise. And I guess I did. I felt there was a point where I was looking at these people on the cruises who were whining. I'm like, you got on the cruise, and I'm like an idiot because I'm just as bad. This is the person that bragged, I'm on a cruise every year. Well, you got it in the ass this time, didn't you?
Right.
Yeah. And I'm so glad we went to Disney World. Disney World.
Disney World. Yeah.
Disney World with our grandson, and they had a great time because I had thought maybe we should wait till spring break, which would be right about now, but we didn't. And we had a great time, so something to look back on. But so anybody out there who thinks this is a hoax, call us in.
Well, yeah.
Tell us how you feel it's a hoax and why do you think it's a hoax.
469 844-2207 469-844-2207. This job used to be the start of the shows, reading the phone number.
Right.
And he used to have that. What was it? One That's Easy. Now he's got a new app that he works with.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whip that ass. Whoop that ass. Whip it, daddy. Whoop it.
So you were scheduled to go to. Okay, you went to TBRU.
TBRU,
right?
The Texas Bear Roundup.
Which is
my first time.
A notable event, been around for many years.
It's all for charity. It's
so
all for charity.
These events, they have outings and stuff like that. But a lot of things they do in order to get the rates and guarantee that people can get in there, they have to prepay for or make some sort of commitment to.
Right.
And of course, the hotels sometimes give them a rate or at least guarantee a room block so that they can have the party there. Then they got to, if they have a ballroom or they have food, they got a certain amount of food they got to buy and all that. And so now at the last minute they had to cancel. It got to a point where the city and county here had canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade. Mm-hmm. What was that concert that the South by Southwest, is it?
Oh yeah, down in Austin.
But people were already there. I mean,
that's a big.
Would they say over 400,000 people attend that every year?
Yep.
I think.
Well, and I remember when they first did that, they were yelling at the guy that said we got to do this. Right. And now what they're seeing the numbers coming, people are saying, okay, this might have been a good idea. So the poor guy that had to make the statement, make the decision. At first was getting battered pretty bad because those music people, they tend to be a little fanatic, don't they, Keith? Do I resemble that remark? No. But all the things that they're canceling is indicative of how big this is.
Right.
But with as much as we sue in this country, all it takes is, well, I was in that theater and I know someone coughed on me and I got sick. I want the theater named after me now. And someone will sue, and then you got to go through all that crap. Even if they don't win, you go through all that BS.
Right.
And they got to do it. You got employees.
You think maybe we can do a class action suit against China since this all started in China? All America will just sue China.
All they're going to do is wipe the debt clean. We owe them so much money.
Right.
So we can get the debt forgiven, and we start from zero.
Right.
We cover that $50 billion that he's just released to all the states to work on this.
Right.
And cover his golfing expenses.
Oh yeah.
Obama played too much golf, but Trump goes every weekend hobsnobs with all the dignitaries down there. I mean, what the fuck? biggest crook there is.
All these closings, yeah. So anyway, I went to TBRU on Thursday. All right. So on my, when I reserved the room, I got an email confirmation for the room. And then, of course, at the bottom it has a phone number for cancellations.
Right.
So I was so up in the air about this. I'm like, I'm not going to go. I'm really, really worried about this. I called that number Thursday morning, and the line was backed up. So I left my number, and they called me back. And I told them I wanted to cancel my reservation, that I wasn't going to go. And they said, because it's the day of check-in, you have to call the hotel directly. And then my mom comes in, and I'm talking to her, and I said, yeah, I'm going to, and she practically called me a little bitch without saying it. Well, if I had reservation and I was going to go do it, I wouldn't let this stop. I would go do it. And
You're called out. When you're lying in that hospital bed with the Darth Vader mask on, you can tell her, Mom.
I won't blame her. I will not.
She better make me some fudge. That's all I care about.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I would never do that.
This is key.
That's it. Yeah, because she packed. So I'm like, fuck it. So I'm in there and I'm packing, and I'm reluctant the whole time. Now I get there, I'm having a fucking great time, man. You know how I am with the crowd of gays. I'm just grabbing dicks everywhere. I'm having fun, but the whole time thinking, man, why did I just kiss that guy? I don't even know him. Why am I doing it? And then,
my husband kissed a strange man last night, even though he was really cute.
I'm not strange.
I'm not talking about you.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah.
The other guy. Okay.
What is it? You kiss the kiss of the guy.
Right.
You kissed two guys, and he kissed two guys, and he kissed two guys,
so-
and he sucked one guy, and he.
All right. So
Did
anyway.
he swallow?
Ooh.
Anyway, I was called. If I wouldn't have called the wrong number, I wouldn't have went. I would have canceled. So I'm hopefully nobody.
What kills what said though is at that point, had you not checked in, you probably could have gotten a refund by the end of the day because they would have said, okay, But but did you enjoy what little you were able to do?
But I had a great time.
Did you stay the night or no?
We did stay the night.
Okay, so it wasn't too bad.
No,
The
and
room looked nice, the view.
It was of the jail that I stayed in briefly. Okay, anyway, it said that the cancellation would have been one night's thing. Since I canceled less than 72 hours, I still would have had to pay for a night anyway. So I ended up there for the night and paid for the night. So I got to at least enjoy that.
The Batmobile new Batman movie. The Batmobile looks pretty damn good. I kind of like that. It looks like a DeLorean on steroids.
Yeah, a Lamborghini or DeLorean or something, right?
Yeah. So the
TBRU is a great event, and from what I read, they raised $86,000 or $88,000 last year for charities.
Really?
And I don't know how much they did this. They're gonna have to give a lot back, I'm sure.
They're gonna take a lot. They're gonna take a hit.
They're gonna take a hit. It's strictly nonprofit, and them guys really work their ass off. I've heard different things about TBRU, so I was reluctant to ever really just go to the event because I didn't think it would be my cup of tea, and I was just so totally wrong about it. It was awesome. There's a lot of bears that are stuck up and snobbish. But
they were cliquish bears.
Yeah, but my view on the clique thing that I had against them a few years ago has changed because when you're around a group of people and you usually tend to flock towards people and hang out with the ones you know. My thing is y'all know me. I make eye contact and I speak to everybody. I don't care where I'm at, what neighborhood, what store, whatever. I speak to everybody. So when I'm in a group of people, especially a large group of gays, and they won't even look at you, I have a problem with that.
Junior, you're thinking about the wrong thing right now.
I think that's in Red Oak, though.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Why don't you tell the audience what you're talking about?
Crawfish.
We want some crawfish today.
They want to eat bait.
Yeah, bait that's been boiled properly.
You want to catch a fat white boy? Put on some crawfish.
Fat white boy.
You got this one on her.
So if we want to hear from people right now, it says we got 9 people. Well, we had 9. If you want to participate in the show, we'd like to hear from you. How is this affecting you? What things are going on in your life? How are you handling this? What are you hearing in your area? 469-844-2207. 469-844-2207. We do want to hear from you.
Is it me or is it getting cold in here?
Well, turn the air off.
Started, so.
Yeah, because I think he's got the air. Well, we got the air down to 60.
I think it was set on 68.
Yeah, just turn it off for now.
Turn it. Yeah.
Now we can talk about him when he's not here.
Yeah, like, God damn, that's fine looking ass right there. Yeah. It used to be a big badunk. Now
he's losing weight in the face and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to show us his ass.
He's a skinny guy now, so we can't talk to him anymore. He's lost all that weight. Wrong channel. That's XTube.
Ooh, 1 year ago today. Okay, 1 year ago today, I want to introduce PJ. He's my best friend and partner. We have decided to move forward in life together. We are extremely happy and excited about our relationship. On March 14th. On March 14th, we've been in a relationship. Did you know it was an anniversary today? Did you get me something?
I got you a Sonic drink with your money.
Okay.
I got you a Godzilla sticker the other day for your car. Well, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, you didn't know when.
What are you doing? Why are you grabbing a knife for? Put the blade down, honey. So.
Damn, no knives when you need it.
Yeah, Mexican without a knife. Go figure.
Yeah.
So, have you got to decide where you're going for crawfish?
All Shucks right here by the house.
Good, I'll take a nap while you're doing that.
No, come with us.
I don't want to go to All Shucks. I hate that place.
Why?
I'm going to take a nap while you do that. Nope. I'm going to take a nap. I'm taking a nap.
Oh, you're not going with us?
Hell no.
Yeah, he's going with us.
I am not. Don't make me come over there. That's right. Don't make me lick your spoon.
Lick my spoon?
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded gross. Conveniently, we do not have a bathroom cam. Do we? Yeah, no, they can't tell that you're in there. No, they can't tell. Yeah, I've got a cough. I don't know why I got a cough. I've got post-nasal drip. That's disgusting. So, okay, so who's watching Picard? Is it too soon to talk about that? Because there's spoilers, right?
Yeah.
You want Matt? No. Oh. Have you seen it?
Huh?
Have you seen it?
I saw one episode, yeah.
Oh, that's it? Then you know what? Sit down and shut up.
Well,
You know, I never watched a single episode of New Generation or whatever that was.
Next Generation.
Next Generation of what?
Star Trek.
Yeah.
So anyway, it looks like Picard is good. Yes, it is.
who's typing? I don't see that.
Well, because you're probably not. You're probably watching it. You're looking for food, baby.
Well, at least he's not looking at daddies.
Well, give him a minute. If he had two phones, he'd be busy.
Right. Be two-handed, that bitch.
Well, see, what people don't see off to the left here and off to the right for him is there's a measuring tape. And when people come into this house, they have to be measured. If they don't meet up, he just sends them on their way.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
So that thing smells like penis or what?
I don't know. I haven't smelled it.
There's some pubes caught in the tape.
There is. Yeah. Didn't clear the zipper.
Right.
Well, I didn't know.
What?
What's his name is in the Fire Dancers?
I don't know what the fire dancers are, but that's an old picture.
It's an old picture?
Yeah, I think he said that was from a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who that other gay man next to him is.
So, do you think there'll be a point where they close the theater?
You know, I think there could be. Like I said, when I texted them earlier just to see what changes we had made, he said they're only doing 50% capacity per auditorium.
This way they can have the distance.
Right. So, I don't know. That's all just going to depend on, how this thing spreads and if it continues to progress. Like
someone like you in your position you'd be there fixing things that you couldn't normally fix.
I could work during the day. I could.
You could get shit done.
Right.
You can make it spit polish.
So, I could see them, not only cutting the capacity, maybe spreading out the movies, like maybe show some in only half the auditoriums, and then move the next showings into different auditoriums and give us time to clean, a couple hours to clean in between each one so we could spray everything down. I could see that happen. Because they say when you're spraying these surfaces with Lysol, they have to stay wet for like 10 minutes.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
10 minutes to clear out the germs. So,
That makes sense.
right. So you can't just spray it and wipe it down. You have to spray it and let it dry.
Well, and I don't have the facts, but there's a certain amount of time it lives on metal. Or
Cardboard is, I think it was 6 to 12 hours. Metal could be like days, I think.
so I'm not sure. I don't want to say
Right.
anything because I don't know.
Right,
But
yeah.
there are periods of life after touch.
Right. So plastics and metals, it stays on longer. Cardboards and cloth and stuff, not as long.
So-
I think, but
Well, let's see, what time is it? How long have we been on? Probably an hour. 2:42.
we've
Junior,
been on an hour.
Don't look.
Hour and
don't-
five.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Junior, I love you, but if you don't want to do the show, why are you here?
Hey! I'm looking for news feed. I'm the star. I'm looking for news feed.
You know, when we were talking about this the other day, the cat got up in Junior's face, grabbed him by the collar, and said, "I don't care what you do, but do not forget my cat food. If we get quarantined, there damn well better be some kibble in the fucking fridge." And he said it. I'm telling you.
Or you will be kibble.
Yeah. He says, "I got back paws and I know how to use them."
Yes, he does.
So, well, this is we've been on for a little while, and
Hour and
you guys
a
want to go
little
eat,
over.
and I do want to take a nap. And
You don't need a nap.
you said you're old, so let's do.
You don't need a nap.
I need a nap.
So sleepy.
Yeah, because you don't want to. He could sit and talk with us and have fries.
Oh,
or
no, I'm not
something.
doing that.
Bye,
It's all,
everybody.
it's all about PJ.
It is.
It's about PJ.
Really? Come on now. All right, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us today. This is the podcast for Saturday, March 14th, 2020. We'll try to do, especially if I have time off where I'm home, I might do a few more of these. And if Keith gets sequestered, he can come over.
Nobody knows.
The trouble you call... Oh, you broke your lightsaber. You know what? It's which is worse, a bent lightsaber or a broken lightsaber? All right.
Depends on if you're Sith or Jedi.
Ooh, I think a Sith would want a bent one. All right, guys. We want to thank you guys for hanging out. We will talk to you later. And you guys have a great week. And please be sure to like and share and invite people to this page, because we'll be back in a day or so to talk more about what's going on, and we want to hear from you. Go to Girth Mirth Bears Podcast.com or pjandfriends.com. There's a link there. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube.
Soon to be on X2.
Well, we thought about that. We'll talk about that another time. All right, you guys have a great weekend.
Listening to Girth and Mirth Bears on the PJ and Friends Radio Network, Dallas, Texas.